Hello, Max. How you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
Well, it's good to see you, Max. It's been a while since we have been in Chaux de Fonds, and we miss you, man.
Yeah, you too, guys. It's almost 2 years now.
Yes. If the situation was not as challenging as it is, we would be in Switzerland right now. We'll be sitting somewhere on a lake and having fun, right?
Exactly. And I promise to you that I'm coming for surfing one day,
You,
Cindy.
you're more than welcome. Hey, Max,
Exactly.
the reason for this call, I know you're a busy man, but we wanted to talk to you, Josh and I, because we got a lot of inquiries and people, watchmakers and machinists from all over the world who follow us on Instagram. They go and say, hey, you have some cool machinery that you imported from Switzerland. Where did you get your stuff from? And instead of like answering one question at a time, I thought maybe we should introduce the man who was a key figure in helping us setting a workshop in Australia. So that's why we're talking to you, Max.
Thank you. So I'm Maxime Greub. I'm the third generation of Greub machine because it started in 60s with my grandfather. He used to have a small workshop where he refurbished machines. And my father grew the business with dealing machines, buying and selling machines worldwide. Mainly machine tools from Switzerland, or at least Europe. And we are here in Chaux de Fonds. This is the heart of the watchmaking in Switzerland between Geneva and Basel. Uh, if you drive only 1 minute to the east or to the west, you will see Tiger, you will see Breitling, you will see Rolex. So almost everybody is here, or the subcontractor of really famous brand names of watchmaker in Switzerland. So I bought the company from my family in 2012. Now I still working with my father, and we make such a good team like you guys because he brings to me a lot of expertise of machine tools, and I do want to share my passion of machine tools. I would never say that I'm a good watchmaker. I don't know a lot about watchmaking, but I know what kind of machines you need to produce a part, like, I don't know, watch cases, dials, or hands, something like that. And we do prefer to keep an old machine in good mechanical state that all just to see a nice painting on the machines. So I think the best way is just to make a tour of the workshop, and you will see what we can propose.
Go ahead, Max. Show us around and
All
show us
right.
the amazing facilities.
Thank you so much.
While you're walking
Okay.
around, tell us a little bit about Chaux de Fonds as you're going back into the factory.
Okay, so Chaux de Fonds, it's a town with 14,000 people, and the height of the city is 1,000 meter high above the sea, and it's a city where I would say that almost 50% of the workers do work for the watches. You have a lot of subcontractors, and as I said, a really nice brand names here. And I always wanted to keep the history of the watchmakers here. So this is our humble, really simple museum with really old machines that I think you never seen. Oh, never, huh? Right?
That is amazing.
So
Already.
we just finished it last year. So you do have like a transfer printing machines for dials, small watchmaker lathes, small presses. Like you do have also a microscope in his original box. So, and yeah, for example, this one used to belong to my grandfather. It was one is his first lathe. And if you want to see old extinctor, you know, against the fire, the old machines, it looked like this. Okay. So now we will just step in the, how do you say, the stock. And as you can, the showroom, thank you, that you do have some presses, you have some decoration machines, like this is a faceting machine for hands. Here I also have old machines. This one is from 1912. It's Lienart. It was produced here in Chaux de Fonds. It's like a guillochage, decoration machine, like tapisserie. It's here you can turn. You have the tools here. It's really, really nice machine.
This is what Audemars Piguet uses for their dials, right? When they make
exactly. You have the rounding machine, but here this is a straight one. But you can see all the dial, for example, for Breguet, they are using it a lot as well. The subcontractor is Mob de Prele. So,
can I just interrupt you for a second? Can you please explain to us, or maybe just a highlight, a thing that is probably not obvious? Sometimes watchmakers and machinists are obsessed with buying the latest, the newest, the most modern. But in a horology, in a watchmaking, sometimes all those old machines are as good as new ones once they're refurbished, right?
Exactly. And seriously, you cannot find with a good accuracy new machine sometimes. You do prefer to overhaul it than to find a new one, because today old people are focused on the price. So, and to make good machines with a low price is really difficult. So, for example, you cannot compare old milling machines, Shoblin, like you can see now, than a new one from China, for example. And sometimes, like, you know, pivoting machines, Strozak, you can find it new. Of course, it would be good, but the old one, it's much efficient than the old one. Also, you know, today they are looking for security, protection on the machine, etc., etc. But we do. I will show you after that the workshop where we still, you know, make the scrapping of a machine. Do you know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Geometrical reconditioning. Yes.
Exactly. And today it's really difficult to find the people who can do it. It's really difficult. But yeah, and it's a honor to supply you some good machines, and that today what you do in Sydney, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. So if you want some really old machine but in good mechanical state, you can contact me anytime, of course.
We'll be more than, you know, we do, and you have a list of machinery and equipment that we are always kind of on the lookout for, and that is another thing. You have a lot of stock. You have a beautiful stock there, but sometimes it's not like, you know, going to McDonald's. You have to wait patiently for the right machine to appear on the market, right?
Exactly. And it's always difficult sometimes to find the right machine for the customer. That's why I'm always looking and asking around where we can find the machine. You know, for example, today we do have a lot of inquiry for how do you say it? Oh gosh, for polishing the teeth of the pinion. Mm-hmm. You know, and yes. Because we cannot find the old machine, we have decided to make a new one. Let me show you. I remember the last customer who asked me, it was from New Zealand, Holland, and he asked me, do you have the old Hauser or Preta for polishing the teeth of the pinion? And I said, I don't have it. So we have decided to produce one with a guy from La Vallée de Joux. And this is the one. And you put your pinion here, and you have the grinding wheel in wood, and you just polish teeth by teeth, you know. So we have decided to make it new. That's it.
That is a fantastic project, and I'm sure people need to know about it. I'm not going to talk about prices right now, and surely we will put a link into video. People can contact you directly. But what we're highlighting really is the fact that it is important to build a relationship with a dealer like yourself, and that as a watchmaker you have to be patient because it takes time. Even if you just walk into your showroom and buy machinery, like in our case, it took months for machine to be packed and shipped and sea freight, and it is an exciting journey, but it does take time.
Yeah, a long time. And to be frank, today it was so complicated to export machine, really complicated, because no flights, all the prices go up, and yeah, it was complicated. But I do want to speak about prices, because in Switzerland the prices are really high, but the rate exchange is moving for the bad side for me, because everything's getting more and more expensive for abroad, and it's not my fault. Even just the packing costs a lot, But anyway, just let me show you our workshop now.
Okay. So how many people do you have in your workshop who help you with the refurbishment?
Five persons. We are a small team of 10 people. But for example, here we are refurbishing an old CNC lathe. The bench was removed. We make all the mechanics. Here we are testing a decoration machines. Revitec is from here. We just enter 2 machines that we are testing for a customer. Another small lathe. For example, this kind of lathe with a lead screw, they are not produced anymore.
Yes, the bench top with the lead screw is really rare.
Exactly. This is 102. Yeah, just an overview of what we have. And okay, today is Sunday. It's really quiet. Yeah.
Max, you mentioned 102 Shoblin. Can you tell us a little bit about your father's involvement in Shoblin as a producer and a business, and what was his role? I understand he was a part of that in early stage and later stage. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, he just bought Shoblin with other shareholders in 2001, I think. And it was more and more difficult for Shoblin to produce the machines with competitive price. And so they moved from 20 people up to 100. And then 2 years ago, he sold it, because all the shareholders are getting old, and they need new investments. To be frank, producing machines in Switzerland, it's really difficult. Either you make a high quality, a niche market, etc. But for specific customer like watchmakers, etc. And today, Shoblin's getting quite good, I think. I hope for them. But now we are not involved anymore. We are selling second-hand, refurbished Shoblin, less and less new one. But yeah, Shoblin sells directly abroad most of the time for new machines.
I think Josh knows far more about this than I do. But you told me, I remember this a few years ago, you said that casting on old Shoblin is something that is unparalleled.
Exactly. Now, it's just because, everything, as I said, today they are looking for the low price. So even the quality of the steel are less good than before. And like the old steel is stabilized with the time, not moving at all anymore. And that's why some people do prefer old machines than new. Even, when they let the machine outside with the humidity, like the cast does not move anymore, So it's better to grind it, to scrap it, like an old lathe bench than a new one. Like some people say that today, like, it's like butter. It's too, it's like smooth, or I would say
Too soft.
weak, soft. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Let me show you another hall. Tac.
I'm
No,
amazed
but you are
how clean
welcome.
your shop is and your showroom. It's like
A medical facility.
medical facility. Yeah.
Now, it's I always say that here you like a kid in a toy shop. You know, you look everywhere and you see nice machines, and yeah, you can spend a lot of time here.
Max,
Just another. We have more than 1,000 machines here.
wow. Tell us a little bit. As much as you want to share. I don't expect you to share any details, but where do you get your machines from?
Oh, from companies who wants to change them, buy a new one, or because they want just to, or some of them are going to bankruptcy, or some people, I do buy them everywhere, mostly in Switzerland, but you can see some machine here comes from Sweden, from France, from like here you do have some machines, maybe I should not say it, but from Patek Philippe, from Rolex, from other brand names that just want to change them. And I think it's better to give them a second life than just to screw them up, or how do you say, throw it away.
When you look for machines and try to find the machines that your customers that buy off you like, what do you look for in machines? Do you buy everything, or do you only specialize in some certain things?
No, I do buy. Of course, it's mainly for watchmakers, but not only. For example, you have a hydraulic press who can make watch cases, but also a medai, or I don't know, for other things like maroquinerie. How do you call it? Like Louis Vuitton, for a belt, or something like that. But always I'm looking if it's a CNC, the age of the machines, the mechanics, the electrics, if it's good or not good. And of course, I'm looking for some specific machine according to the needs of my customers right now. And also I do buy, I would say, for stock, because I think that in a couple of years they need it, For example, these two machines, you have an oven and transfer printing machines. It's a guy who asked me because he wants to build up a new department of dial. So he needed it. So I bought them for him. And sometimes, for you guys, you're looking for small grinding machines. And I don't find it. Not yet, but I will. I will.
Fantastic. Again, I have to highlight this because we're not paid to talk about your business, and neither you pay us nor we pay you. This is purely sharing our excitement for the fact that very early in our journey we were lucky to discover you. I don't even know how we bump into each. Oh yes, in Stuttgart fair. That's where we met. And I have to say, from the first moment, from the first second we met, we kind of clicked. And I knew that you are the guy I can trust blindly. I mean, to be honest, it's not easy to send, tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars to someone overseas on the other side of the globe and not worry about. We all worry about. But with you, I never worried, not for 1 second. And I think that was mutual. And that is a big burden on a small startup business. You don't want to take a risk dealing with someone you cannot trust or someone who is not an expert. And with you, we got both. You told Josh, hey Josh, don't go for that machine. This is what you have to look for. That was priceless for us.
Yeah, but I always say I don't want to make business only once. It's for lifetime, and I'm young, So even I do make a mistake, I sell you something does not work, I will take it back and pay you back. And you, the only one, guys, I accept that you didn't pay 100% before to get the machines. It means that I really trust you. And it was, yeah, both sides. And for me, I was a supplier, you are the customers. But anyway, you bring me back so much. And when I saw your videos and I saw all the machine I sell to you, I was really proud, really, really proud. And the others supplier like Halfolter, Kern, etc., you know it. They laugh about it because I'm a small machine tools dealer, and I could sell a machine in Sydney, and not a simple one, really nice machines. So I do want to share all my experiences and also my expertise to the customer. So if I don't think it's the right machine for the customer, I won't sell it. I do prefer to keep it, or you come here and choose with me the right machine for you. That's it.
So Max, I've got a question for you, and it's a bit about, I guess, your insight into the watchmaking industry. We're here in Sydney. We are sort of the new kids on the block. We don't really know how the whole Swiss industry works and worked. But in your experience and in your father's experience, maybe looking in the last 20 years, from the early 2000s up until now, what do you think were the big changing points, the turning points in the Swiss watch industry?
I would say that the quality, the required quality, is always the most important things. And to be competitive, you must bring a good quality, of course. But today, what changed a lot, that the people try to make more and more benefits, more margin all the time. And they focus on the wrong things. I would say that the efficient of a Swiss watches must be the first and the main, goal of the watchmaker. And today, I also think that since the last 10 years, too many people want to make a Swiss quality, and they cheat on the how do I would say. I should have prepared to answer this kind of question first, but I would say that with passion, people don't work with passion like before since the last 10 years, and I hope it will change. And the brand names also put too much pressure on small subcontractor, on prices, delays, etc. And the mentality changed a little bit. But anyway, I'm sure that in 15 years, Switzerland will still have the best watches of the world. Of course, just before Hacko watches. But now it changed a lot since 10 years or 20 years.
There is no doubt and no question about it. We are going through crisis, and no matter what industry you are and where you are, we are going through a severe crisis. And brands like Rolex and Omega and Patek, they are not going to go out of business no matter what. Yeah. They will stay. But what about smaller brands? Do you think that they will survive, or do you think that we will see some brands disappearing?
Now, some of them will disappear, of course. They cannot survive. The margin is too small, the customer becomes really rare. But the wheel is turning all the time. Some of them will survive and get bigger and bigger. I do have a small watchmaker in Geneva now. I think he won the prize last year, just after Patek Philippe. I don't know if I can say the name. If I can, I will share with you. It's Recepi. It's a guy. Do you know?
Yes.
Do you know him?
Two brothers.
Okay. Two brother. Exactly. So now he's a customer and he buys some machine from me. And he's a nice guy and he knows where he's going. He tried to bring something new. He has a lot of success. Some other brand names, like when they are too arrogant and because they are earning too much money in a short time and they are not focusing on quality, service, etc., they will disappear. Of course, they will disappear. I don't want to judge anyone, but today it's a difficult time for everybody. And if they are spending too much money and not keep it for the future, they will die. I'm probably sure. But how many? I don't know. Some people say that maybe the half of the small companies will disappear. I don't know. The future will tell us.
One thing I've always been fascinated about is the relationship between large brands like your Rolex and Omega and Patek Audemars and the subcontractor. And it's something that you've mentioned 3 or 4 times so far. But can you give people a picture of what the Swiss industrial watchmaking really looks like? What's the hierarchy? How does everything work?
It means that all the small subcontractors, they have more ideas, they have more liberties, to find a new solution. And sometimes something completely crazy. The big brand names, there are so much, how do you say it, in a line that you make it like this, etc., etc. And the small one can make some craziness. And what I don't like, that the big ones put a lot of pressure on the small companies. And it's when you can see a guy in a workshop who find a new idea and want to share it with the big ones and change a few things. I love it. It's difficult to explain. You should see in a workshop in a small subcontractor in Switzerland, and you will see so many ideas they have and creativity. It's just crazy. But unfortunately, like with this big crisis, I'm not sure everybody can survive. It's a big mess right now.
Well, Max, thank you very much for sharing all that with us. And it is you are our man in Switzerland, and
Thank you.
we love the fact that we do have our man in Switzerland, and we hope you will be able to visit us once the flights are kind of restated. And we're certainly looking for, but I don't want you to let you go so easily. There are a few more questions I want to ask you. And one thing that is fascinating to me, I remember going, you let me into your special room where you keep
Alibaba cave.
Yeah, is your cave. So there is a room within a room that is locked all the time. And
Exactly.
and what do you keep there? Tell us more about that special room.
No, it's a we close it because you have some spare parts for old machines that you cannot find anymore. Okay, and some people comes to me just for buying one spare part, and I don't want it. I do prefer to complete a machine for a customer, and sometimes I'm kind of rude with my customer because they are begging me that say, please sell it to me. You have some really rare parts for old machines. That's it. But just if you come by, of course, I will open it and show you. But difficult for buying it from me.
And when you get inquiries from maybe young watchmakers or people who are starting out, what do you recommend? What if you had an inquiry suddenly from someone who wants to start their own watch company and making parts themselves, what machines do you recommend to buy?
What's the first machine?
Yeah, the first machine.
The first machine. It depends what he wants to produce. I do have some visit from you friends, lately. Yeah, but yeah, it depends what he wants to do. I would say that a milling machine is the most important things. It's the milling machines, and then just milling machines or something like that. Everybody needs it, but yeah. It depends what he wants to do. It really depends what he wants to do. You know, for example, if he wants to focus on watch cases, he needs a drilling machine, a polishing machines like Courvoisier, Recomatic, or something like that. Yeah, he just shared to me his needs, and I will find out the right machine. That's it. I mean,
amazing.
It's funny because as you can see, I'm not used to make an interview. It's not easy.
No. You know what your problem, Max, is? You're not a salesman. You're not a pushy salesman, and that's what we're like. We sell secondhand watches, and yeah. I think I see a lot of myself in you. People come to us and they want to buy a secondhand watch, whether it's Rolex or Omega, whatever. I don't sell anything. They need to find what they want. They exactly. Tell me what they want. If I have it, I have it. If I don't, we say we don't have it. But we never try to sell, and that's you. You never try to sell, and that's why we're so relaxed with you.
Thank you, man. I'm not a pushy man. You know, if you want to buy, it's all right. If you don't want, just like I said, some people are trying to bargain all the time. Say blah 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 blah. Just take it or leave it. It's easy. If you want it, or if you don't like this one, I would try to find another one for you. And if in the meantime you find another machines, no problem. No problem. I will also recommend you to go to a special supplier if I don't have it. You know, like you ask me sometimes some advices about who is the best one, you know, for the quantities you want to do, or you know, for some specialties, for dials, for movement components, etc., etc. I will share. I won't say that I always say it. I know everything. That's why I do prefer to discuss with other supplier for some specialties, and just to make a link between a supplier and a customer. Okay, because I don't have everything. I don't have all machines that the people want at the right time, etc., etc. But yeah, I'm not a good seller. Anyway.
You don't have to be. Tell me another thing. Let's say someone in America, and there are a lot of people who follow us in US and who like to get into watchmaking, wants to hop on a plane one day and come and visit you. Surely for that person, it will be beneficial to see some other dealers as well. You don't have to mention the name of your competition, but there are other businesses around Chaux de Fonds. Switzerland is small. So how they should plan that visit, maybe expect to see maybe 2 or 3 or 4 suppliers, secondhand dealers like you. How many businesses like yours are still in Switzerland?
I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7, 10, I don't know. Some people are just alone, they don't have a stock, you know, so I'm just dealing with the internet. It's not what I do, you know. I do prefer to see the customer or to go there, even it's in Asia or USA or something like that. First, he contacts me and make an appointment, because I'm not always in the office, and I do want to welcome them because they fly for 10 hours and just to receive them. And if he wants to see something else, I will help you out to take the train, and because it's really easy to take the train here in Switzerland. You can go everywhere with a train. You have buses, etc., etc. And I will call them, the customer, the supplier, call them to say, hey, guy, a guy from USA wants to visit you. Can you receive them, etc. We do have really good relationship with our competitors as well, because we are so small. The country is really small. The business is really small. Even you know that the watchmakers worldwide, they know everybody. And also you do have here a nice school for watchmakers in Neuchâtel. And that's why that I receive all foreigners like I do want that they receive me when I go there, you know, in the country. And that's why I don't have a lot of time. I'm really busy. I'm traveling a lot, so it's sometimes difficult. So just let me know 2 or 3 weeks before you come. I will try to spend most of the time I can with the customer, and I love sharing my my passion of machine tools and my country. So I will also, like 2 people from Germany lately came, and I make a tour with them because I had to drive to Neuchâtel, and I say, okay, you should see this castle, you should have a drink on this terrace, etc., etc. You know, it's not only about business of machine tools, not at all.
Another question. There is the main machinery fair for watchmaking industry is EPHJ in Geneva. This year, that fair was cancelled.
Yeah.
Do you know what is the future of the fair, and do you intend to exhibit again?
Difficult to say. The major watchmakers, I think they do prefer to make a private exhibition by their own factory or by the customer, you know. But exhibition like we used to know, big one with a lot of people, I'm not sure they will have a lot. It's a shame because you can see a lot of subcontractor, supplier in the 1 week, for example, and they can show their new products, share their experiences between 2 watchmakers, and it's really a shame. But this year, 2020, we can just make a cross on it, and that's it. I don't know what's happening in the future, but it will change completely anyway. But what I've heard, Rolex, Patek, etc., they do prefer to do their own exhibition in their house. Okay, and yeah, I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. We'll see next year, but it's a shame because I do appreciate as well to see a lot of brand names in 1 week, for example. But anyway.
So I think I have one question that might wrap us up, but it's more of a personal question, and in regards to you dealing business and everything. Are we some of the most crazy people you've dealt with on the other side of the world in Sydney? Massive time barrier and the language barrier between, you know, your staff and us, and it's really we're oddballs. Are we the craziest, or is there someone or a story that you can tell us that's even crazier than ours?
But you know, sometimes you can see, you can hear that my English is not so good. But I deal with some people who cannot speak English, and I don't speak Japanese, for example. You know, but in front of a machines, and you just use your body language, as you said, and like we do receive a lot of Japanese here. You cannot imagine. Lately, I received Seiko and the competitor Citizen, you know, and it was really funny because you don't say a word, just like a coffee. You want a coffee? I say yes, and that's it. But in front of the machine, you spitz less, and you just share our passion in front of a machine. That's it. We don't. And the other day, they spent 2 hours taking pictures of everything. And even from a chair, old, how do you call it? Like, how do you call it? Tabouret in French.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He just taking some picture of it, and they say it's for sale. I say, no, of course not. It's not for sale. It's just a decoration. But he was so surprised. Yeah. No, I do appreciate to share my business with foreigners and stuff. So please come to visit. Seriously.
But saying all that, I still believe that Josh was the youngest customer that you sold Kern ever. He was 17 years old. You sold a machine to someone who was under the age of 18. That might be criminal.
Exactly. but he knows a lot of things, much better than me, Josh. He has a lot of maturity, you know it, for his age. For his
Max,
age,
is that Rose engine still there that you have
The Guilloche machine. I think it's right next to you, actually, in your museum, the special one. Yes?
The Rose machine. Which one is it?
For the Guilloche.
For the Guilloche. No, it's outside. No, this is yeah. We do have others machine. It's not in the museum. That was the one I showed to you before. Just hold on. This is the one.
I remember there being a story when we came, must have been 3 or 4 years ago now, where you said that you had offers for people to buy some of these Guilloche machines outside of Switzerland, or to some people that wouldn't treat the machine well or something like that. And you declined because it was such a special machine. Is that true?
Exactly. This one will stay in Chaux de Fonds. This one will stay in Chaux de Fonds for sure.
Oh, wow.
You can see. So I'm sorry, guys, but I won't sell it abroad. I won't sell it abroad. You know what? I spoke to you about USA before. This one should go to New York. And he asked me a huge discount that I didn't accept. And tomorrow, these machines, the Guilloche, this is a straight line machine, will go to Geneva. This one will go to Geneva.
Wow.
And what I appreciate that this machine will produce parts. It's not a decoration in a shop, you know. So some parts will come from this machine. It's what I appreciate.
Max, I'm looking at that machine now, and we deal with a lot of watch collectors, and many of them are really very wealthy people who can spend $50 or $100 or more $1,000 on a watch. If I'm that kind of guy, I would probably rather buy a machine and display it in my house rather than another watch. I mean, these machines are a piece of art. They're art.
Yeah, of course, the piece of art. And they didn't draw the machine with a computer. Can you imagine? It's on the paper with a pen. They decided how to produce it. Now, but if a wealthy people wants to have a machine for decoration, I would accept, of course, because it's such a nice piece. Like in my father's garden, he does have a screw of a spindle press. Was pressing dials, a huge one. He makes also a table with the cast iron of another machine. So, of course, I would accept to share, but some machine I would accept, some others I would not, And it's really rare to have such machine. I don't want to find a machine in a cave in Asia, for example. One day I was in Asia and I saw some old machines, old rusted, in a corner of the workshop, and it was really painful to see it anyway. But comes and we will share. And if you want to find a special machine, I will find it for you. I'll try at least.
Hey Max, what watch are you wearing right now? Show us your watch.
Should I say it? Yeah, I can say it. But it's your friend, Concepto.
Yes. Concepto, they're good guys, aren't they?
Exactly. It's a wide horologist and team, or they say. It's a brand name. They make I don't know. I should not make any advertisements, but no, it's also a nice movement inside. It's really nice movement. So it's made in Chaux de Fonds.
Concepto is a very impressive watch factory. They how many people they have there?
I don't know, maybe 60, 70, maybe up to 100.
Yeah.
And
thank you very much for organizing a meeting and a factory tour of Concepto. Last time,
twice.
Yes. Thank you very much for that. what I was really impressed with you, I remember we were standing in that room, I think maybe in that very room, and I was looking at the a machine that we wanted to buy, and we ended up buying it. And it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I wanted to buy a machine under the condition that the maker will provide training for us. And you said, no problem. You pick your phone, you rang someone, I think it was a director of the company, after hours, and he answered your call. And that was amazing. That, like, who does that? I mean, I believe you know every CEO of every watch company in Chaux de Fonds.
Yeah, well, of course, it's how we are, you know. Sometimes we go out just for a beer, not speaking about washes, and it's how we are here. I only ask, don't you mind if we come with some foreigners? If they say no, I will not insist. If they are, most of the people here are proud of what they are doing and want to share. So, yeah, of course, if I can give a call and say, yeah, come in and I will help you out. And if it's not possible now, try another day. And yeah, like you do with me, with you're looking for a dial manufacturer and I propose to you someone. And you told me that you didn't get any answer of because, you know, you write to the main address and it doesn't get to the right people and say, who are they? Those Australian guys, you know, who are looking for something. That's why I give a call and say, please just take it seriously. If you want to sell it to something, yes. If you don't want, forget it. If I can help, yeah. And it's true that we know everybody. You know, in French, we say tu, like it's informal words when we don't say you or vous, like it's polite. We just say tu to everybody. And after 2 or 3 meetings, we say tu. And we do speak a lot about the families, kids and stuff, and not only about business. And we become friends all the time. That's it. That's it.
Max, I think you should be an ambassador for Swiss watchmaking industry. I think you'll be far more successful than those George Clooney and other guys here. You would be a better ambassador because
I'm pretty bad. I'm pretty bad with politics because I'm too sincere, you know. And I cannot be an ambassador. No way, no way.
You can be our ambassador. How about this? Look, I got a present for you.
Okay.
That is a shirt. It says here, "Freedom to make," and right.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what we stand for. We believe that, you know, there is a room for everyone. There is a room for small guy. There is a room for big company, and there is a room for middleman, a salesperson. It takes two to make a watch. You need a machinist and you need a watchmaker, and they need to work together. And that's what we stand for. And I believe that you will wear that shirt with the pride. And guys like you are very, very, very important. You know, and we appreciate your time and the fact that we can talk like we do.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
And we will see you in Sydney, right?
I hope so. Really soon. I hope so. And thank you so much for the interview. Huh? You give me the chance to share my passion.
Well, we'll do it again in a few months' time. We will be more than happy to have a part 2, and you tell us where we're heading and what's going on and the new machines that you have arrived, and we'll be more than happy to share this with and your details, the contact email website, we will put in bottom of this YouTube video so people can contact you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Max.
Thank you, Max.
Take care. Yeah, keep cool. Chat. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Max, you are a little bit of a rebel yourself, hey.
Exactly. I'm not used to wear hats, to be frank. Maybe it's when I do play golf, but no, this one is very nice.
That would really make you a good ambassador. Full stop.